I do need a little, do you have a little, should I get a pillow under me? Yeah, because you can't see my whole face.
Okay, hold on.
You can see half of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Wonder if Uncle Johnny will get on.
Maybe. Okay, so that's, I think that. All right, screen appliance. Yeah, let me get you a pillow. This one's probably giving the most height. Try this one.
Okay.
See if that works. That's too high, and get you a lower one. It's too high.
Can you see my whole
All you have
face?
to do is this much.
Oh, okay.
That tips you.
Well, should I have done that before and take without the pillow? See
Well,
what
you feel
happens?
comfortable with the pillow or no?
No, no, you
Okay,
know.
take the pillow out. So you just have to tip the camera. So you just tip it lower.
Oh, yeah, see, there's the
There you go.
podium. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go into my meeting.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Now it's on mute, so I'm
No,
put
no,
it back on.
your audio's.
Now it's on.
That's your mic. Turn your mic off.
Turn the mic off.
Hi, Marie.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, everybody. Everybody
Hi,
got
Stu.
the turkey defrosting yet?
Nice, Stu. It's in the refrigerator.
So I heard something on the TV the other day that said if you didn't start it 2 days ago, here's the method you have to use. You got to take a bucket of cold water and keep dipping it in, and just don't leave it outside, because if you do, if you leave it outside the refrigerator, it'll develop bacteria. And if you only took it out yesterday, it'll still be frozen when you try and cook it. So we did the we already bought it sliced.
How do you make gravy out of sliced turkey?
You buy a separate can of gravy and you buy some cornbread a couple of weeks in advance to let it go stale so you can make the stuffing. It's called outsourcing.
Tom, what's for lunch?
Chicken pot pie.
Ooh, that sounds good. Chicken one day, turkey the next, huh?
So you heard about the turkey funerals, right? The governors say that you can only have 6 people over for a family, but you can have 25 for a funeral.
Yeah.
So you declare your Thanksgiving event to be a funeral for your pet turkey.
Yeah. Well, California this morning, LA County closed the dining for outdoors, which is all they had before was outdoor dining. And as of this morning, they can't even do outdoor dining.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it's all kind of with good motives, but to hurt the restaurants, a day before Thanksgiving, it just seems to me that does not make a lot of sense. They could have waited another day, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Lowry's is going to
Not
do.
sure.
I heard on Monday that they had reservations for 800 people. So I'm not sure how they're going to make that one happen.
Well, they were operating under 50%, weren't they, until the governor just declared 25?
Yes. And for Lowry's,
So,
that was fairly easy because they got numerous rooms.
yeah, and they can't, they don't really have a patio to do anything outside, so I don't know. Could put up a big tent, I guess. Yeah, I just know the moment that there's an opportunity for me to get the vaccine, I'll be in line.
I'll be right behind you.
Although the survey says 50% of the people in the U.S. won't take it because it came from Trump. So I just find that kind of unbelievable. If we don't get up to 70% or so vaccination, we don't kill the virus. So it's going to be hard, I think.
The Massachusetts Nursing Union did a survey of their members, and only 35% are going to get the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I just find it amazing. I get a flu shot every year, and I always ask the pharmacy tech, did you get it? And she always said, oh, different one. No, 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 no. We don't take it. So it's like, uh, I think people have to, in this country, they have to have the right to make their own decisions, but there's nothing that says you can't be a little coercive. Like, you don't need to be vaccinated, but if your kid's not vaccinated, it can't go to school. They do
Yep.
that already, right?
Right.
Why not add that to the teachers, the hairdressers, anybody with a
Nurses.
license, state license, nurses? Yeah, well, nurses will probably take it, I'm guessing, but Tom was saying some won't, so I don't know. That's weird. Yeah.
Well, I guess anybody has a right to die.
Well,
They just don't have the right to take everybody else with them.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you don't know how long the thing is going to last, but you can actually kill the virus so that it never reappears again if you get 70 or 80% of the people in a community to take it, because the transmission rate is less than 1 to 1, and eventually the virus will just die out. And that's what we did with polio with Rotary. It took a long time for people to get the vaccination. So
Well, based on the names that I see here, I see we have some Kiwanians. Welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club.
hi guys, you can introduce yourself if you open your mic.
Thank you. I'm Louise with Las Vegas, Green Valley, Kiwanis.
Well, welcome.
Oh, hi.
I would have
Hi,
joined
Louise.
Lowry, Utah in my cabin. So didn't want to drive 3.5 hours for lunch.
Oh, and I see Karen Gibbs is there from Las Vegas, Kiwanis. Hello, Karen.
Hi, Jim Hunt.
Hello, Karen.
I like your tree.
Do you? Yeah, I did. I put every decoration on that fake background.
Well, Tom locked up my Christmas decorations 4 years ago and told everybody, enjoy Christmas. It's the last one you're going to get from us. So it's in all my Christmas stuff is in a warehouse somewhere where I don't even know where the storage is. So I put up a little baby tree this year.
Ah, I can see it. Looks cute.
Yeah, the last 4 years I've decorated my hibiscus plant.
Yours is real so far. I mean, you have an actual tree. I haven't put mine up yet. This is just my little background thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, these days you can just do everything virtual. You can put yourself in the North Pole,
Yeah.
you know, with Santa behind you if you want.
I'm gonna
I'd
go up.
rather-
I just want to
Friday
mention
and cut
for
mine down.
What's that, Tom?
for anybody,
I said, I'm gonna go up in the attic on Friday and cut mine down.
Yeah, there you go.
for anybody who's joining us for the first time, just a little orientation. You'll see a panel there that says Lowry's Prime Rib. That's where our in-person meeting is originating from, and President will call that to order at some point. Until that happens, we usually talk among ourselves, but once the actual meeting starts, everybody should go on mute until they have something to say. Any questions, ask.
I'm kind of surprised it's not a bigger group today because I know there's a reduced number at Lowry's, but it looks like there's about what, 14 of us so far?
To the annual Thanksgiving joint meeting of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the world, and the Kiwanis Club. To start us off, our invocation today will be given by Bill Steeren.
Whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly implore His protection and favors. And whereas both houses of Congress have by their joint committee asked me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer to be observed by grateful hearts of all the many favors from our Almighty God, especially an opportunity peacefully to form a government for their safety and happiness. That we may then all unite in rendering unto Him our sincere and humble thanks for His kind care and protection of the people of this country previous to their becoming a nation, for the signal and manifest mercies of the favorable impositions of His providence, which we were expressed in the course of the conclusion of the late war. To the great degree of tranquility, union, and plenty which we have since enjoyed. To the peaceable and rational manner in which we have been able to establish constitutions of government for our safety and happiness, and particularly the national one now lately instituted. For the civil and religious liberty with which we are blessed, and the means we have of acquiring and diffusing useful knowledge, and in general for all the great and various favors which He hath been pleased to confer upon us. And also that we may then unite in most humbly offering our prayers and supplications to the great Lord and ruler of nations, and beseech Him to pardon our national and other transgressions, to enable us all, whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually, to render our national government a blessing to all the people by constantly being a government of wise, just, and constitutional laws, discreetly and faithfully executed and obeyed to protect the guide all the sovereigns. And the nations, especially such as have been shown kindness unto us, and to bless with good government, peace, and concord, to promote the knowledge and practice of true religion and virtue, and the increase of science among us, and generally to grant unto all mankind such a degree of temporal prosperity as he alone knows to be best, given under my hand at the city of New York, the 3rd day of October, in the year of our Lord, 1789, George Washington.
Thank you for that invocation, Bill. And I'll apologize now to the Rotarians in the room who are tired of hearing me say this, but as I look around the room, obviously we need to say it again today. You need to wear a mask. Put your mask on. Now, you're welcome to take the mask off while you're actually eating. But during the program and until we start eating, you need to put your mask on. Thank you. And Kirk, if you could please cue up our Thanksgiving song.
When we were farmers, we hauled in the harvest and found it Thanksgiving Day. With food in the shed for the winter ahead, we would gather together to say, thanks for our health, thanks for our heart, and the bounty that grows from the ground. With our loved ones near, we bless the year that's brought us safely round. Now we are shoppers, we drive to the market. The farm seems a light year away. Still every November we pause to remember that time-honored old-fashioned day. Thanks for our health, thanks for our heart, and the bounty that grows from the ground. With our loved ones near, we bless the year that's brought us safely round. Everything changes, yes, even Thanksgiving. Let's rededicate this old day to helping the hungry, the poor, and the homeless, so all may be able to say, thanks for our health, thanks for our heart, and the bounty that grows from the ground. With our loved ones near, we bless the year that's brought us safely round. With our loved ones near, we bless the year that's brought us safely round.
Thank you, Kirk, for reminding us what years were like before 2020. Now, if you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated, and thank you to all the people who helped with the setup, to Bill for the invocation, to Kim for acting as Sergeant at Arms, to Tina for being our paparazzi again. I see Renee up there on the screen. Renee, thank you for being the scribe. Do we have any guests of Rotarians first, other than Kiwanis guests? I know we have a lot of Kiwanis guests. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? All right, well, in that case, we'll go to an introduction of our Kiwanian guests. So it's my pleasure to introduce President Phil Colosimo.
Oh, thank you very much, Richard. And I want to thank the Rotarians for us repeating this for 50 plus years. We've made it a tradition to be out here and to celebrate Thanksgiving this way. And Richard, as president, thank you very much. I want to introduce our Kiwanian members here. And I want to begin with our lieutenant governors. Now, for those Rotarians that don't know about our structure, lieutenant governor is a very busy job. It's brutal sometimes. It goes for the year. And they manage all our clubs, about 10 of them or more, and they visit all of them during the years and trying to make sure we have membership and that we have activities and coordinate with the key clubs and service projects. We have K Day once a year. It's usually a pretty big event for us. But I want to introduce Lieutenant Governor Christina von Lindenberg. Would you stand? Christina's doing an outstanding job this year. She picked up where Karen Gibbs left off. She's a darling lady and really has lots of enthusiasm for our club, and everybody appreciates her a great deal. We have Lieutenant Governor Len Yelnick. Would you raise? Len? Len, big round of applause for Len. I want you to know that Len was a big fellow who was responsible for the Springs Preserve, the beginnings of that, many, many years ago. Matter of fact, it's so long ago, I don't even know what year it was, but Len does. But I want you to know that he was a driver to get that going. Now we have a beautiful spring preserve to visit. Our next Lieutenant Governor is David Dwyer. David? Okay, give a round of applause for David. And Lieutenant Governor Jerry Petrick. I don't believe Jerry's here. But someone that's very special to all of us, and everyone in this room knows him. He's if he had his picture up there today, we'd see him. It's Howard Naylor, and he has fluffy white hair we can't see, but I want you to know that Howard turned 90 this year. Yeah, a big round of applause for Howard. And Howard coordinated this whole event from his nice chair in his room at his computer, and he's finally Zoom ready. So I see he made it pretty early. Yes. Howard's on the second row on the right. So thank you, Howard. And I want everybody to know what a wonderful man he is. And I think you all know that already. Okay, so Stoney McGoggy, are you here? Raise your hand. Thank you, Stoney. These are our other members. June Kunal, are you here, June? Okay. All right, Rebecca Chura. Tom Dolan. Tom Dugan. Oh, go, Tom. George Hedges. Kathleen Carsonson, is she here? Okay. Yoon Lee. Okay, thank you. Sung Yo Lee. Thanks for coming. And you see our Salvation Army's thriving. Jeff McAllister. He's not here. Lynn Miller. Dennis Picaro. Did I pronounce that right? There you go, Dennis. Hilda Picaro. Thanks, Hilda. Linda Shields. And Derek Yelton. Let's go, Derek. Derek just retired this year. He was with our club, and he was an outstanding dentist in the field many years. Many of you have gone to him. We thank Derek for coming today. And Vicki Dyer. Vicki? Hey, Vicki. Sarn, Mr. Sam Liebarger. Hey, Sam. And Jim Marsh. Thank you, Jim, for coming today. And I believe his grandson's with him. What's your first name? Thank you for coming. And Carol Petrick, she's not here. Ryan Max Ocampo. And last one, very special lady that has worked with our club this year to get varsity quiz going, since we all know they haven't been able to go to the schools and compete. Varsity quiz has been around for 50 plus years as well with our Kiwanis Club, and we've coordinated it all those years by being scorers and by supporting them, giving scholarships at the end of the year to the clubs or schools that win the competition. But Kristen Grimm's here. Kristen, you stand up, introduce her. Thank you for coming. She's from Clark County Schools, and she's really been outstanding to us. And I just want to add that thank you very much again for having us and us joining together. Just to let you all know, if any of you are interested in our club, you can join us virtually on Wednesday at 1 p.m. And I don't know if any of you knew this, but on December 4th, 1925, that's when the Las Vegas Kiwanis Club was born. And it was born, we had a meeting on Wednesday at 12:10, and it has never changed since then, since 1925. And we met at Las Vegas High School. And the Kiwanis Club of San Bernardino was our sponsor at the time. And after that meeting, the place became the Beanery, an unofficial coffee shop, the Union Pacific Depot. And over the years, the meeting location has changed, but our mission has remained the same, which is to international reflective of our missions, to work with area high schools, key clubs educating the youth, important leadership skills and volunteerism. By working together, members can achieve what one person cannot accomplish alone. That's what our key clubbers say. They're very, very team-oriented. We give you, and when you give a child the chance to learn, experience, dream, grow, succeed, and thrive, they go on to the next best thing, which is school. So thank you very much. Appreciate our being here today.
I get a little of my own medicine there. I'm usually the one calling on people when their mouth is full. So at your table, there should be a piece of paper with a QR code on it. And Janice, would you like to tell us what this is all about? Kim?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So the virtual auction, as you know, is underway. We added 15 more items yesterday. There's trips, there's sports, there's purses, there's jewelry, and I also added a package for a dog. We will help you pick the dog that is meant for your family, and you'll get all kinds of toys and treats and bed and some fun things. It's through the agency I work with, Wagging Tails. This auction will go on through now Friday, the 4th at 12 noon. And as Richard said, we made it easy. The code is on here. This is the only day you're allowed to be on your phone throughout the entire luncheon meeting. Richard said I can tell you have approval. But please let me know if you have any questions. We also emailed the link. We need everyone to send this to your friends, family, colleagues. The majority of the items can be shipped anywhere in the US. They ship from California. So we need your help to raise. Our goal is at least $15,000. We're almost at 2,000 and we only have another week. So we need your help. Thanks.
And in terms of our holiday party next week, because of the closing of public events of larger than 50 people, we were forced to cancel our reservation at the Green Valley Ranch for a live holiday party. But the Green Valley Ranch was extremely gracious about returning our deposit. And so I'm going to ask you if at any time in the next, well, anytime in the future, you're looking for some place to go out for the evening, to a bar or to a restaurant that's open, please consider giving Green Valley Ranch a little bit of business, because they certainly were very good to us, and we appreciate that. We will have a party. We will have a holiday party. It'll be online, and so we'll send you emails with further information about that. It'll be a week from tomorrow. Just in terms of getting ready, if you don't have a fully stocked bar in your house, it will be a holiday cocktail party. And so make sure that you have access to your favorite holiday beverages. And I believe we may actually have a mixologist judging different holiday recipes. So if you want to appear on the Zoom and show us how to make your favorite holiday beverage, which doesn't have to necessarily be an alcoholic cocktail. It can be a mocktail or whatever your favorite beverage is. We're planning to do that as part of our virtual party. So I wanted to give you at least a week's warning so that you could stock up. We'll also be raffling off holiday gift baskets, as we've done at live holiday parties in the past. And so we will be sending you photos, I believe, of all of the holiday baskets ahead of time, so that you'll be able to bid. So that's the holiday party. Jim, did I see you? Yeah. Jim, would you like to tell us anything about Santa Claus?
Hi, President Richard and fellow Rotarians. Well, we are going forward. Got some great news today from past President Tom Thomas, who's there. He's going to be helping out to try to drum up some more volunteer shoppers, which are still desperately in need at all locations. We're going to make this work. If we need to, we're going to ask you to, when you are finished shopping, to go a second time, because it should go very quickly. You won't be shopping with the children this year. You'll have a size chart and a wish list. And so when you come in, one main thing I want to make sure everybody knows is please be a little earlier than you may have been in the past this year. We're going to ask people to come up and sign up when you show up between 7 and 7:20, and then go right into shopping so we can get as much shopping done as we can. We won't have the children there, so we won't have to wait for them. So we want you to be there. We want you to get this orientation, because there are some changes that have taken place. Ginger Anderson and Michael Gordon have done a great job of getting things ready. This is going to be our largest Santa Claus results ever. And how fitting is that on our 25th anniversary to serve as many kids and help as many kids as we can this year. So please show up at the malls. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure you're on the list. If you can get a few volunteers more, please email that to Sean so she can update the sheets, and we're all aware of that. And we look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday at 7 a.m. at each of the 3 malls. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. And while you've got the microphone, do you want to tell us about the Wheelchair Foundation also?
Wheelchair Foundation is going strong as ever. We assisted the Wheelchair Foundation in moving about 104 wheelchairs from one location warehouse to John Williams's office last week. We continue to find worthy recipients, and that's another area that for the Kiwanians who are with us today, if you know of anybody that's in need of a wheelchair, we only have 3 criteria. They must be a Nevada resident, they must have a permanent disability, and they cannot afford a new wheelchair. And we will deliver a brand new fire engine red lightweight wheelchair to their door. If you have anyone that comes to mind that fits that need, please reach out to me or Sean at our club, and she'll put you in touch with me, and we'll get that arranged for you. We've delivered about 38 of them so far, and we've got lots more we can give away.
Thank you. And they are fire engine red, sporting a Las Vegas Rotary Club decal.
They are. They have a Las Vegas Rotary Club sticker as well as a Wheelchair Foundation sticker. And ironically, just to let folks know, we've actually delivered one not too long ago that we actually donated to someone 20 years ago that had finally worn it out. The tires were falling off. So these things get good use. We've delivered some to amputees, to veterans, anyone who can't afford a new chair and needs one. We really like to help them this holiday season.
Thank you, Jim. And Renee, are you the person that's going to give us the report on the canned food drive?
No, I believe that Rose going to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Rose.
I can give the money portion, but the can there.
This year, we're going to have Captain Barnes come up and give us the canned food results and present the trophy to the winning club. Well, I thought that was the trophy for the best executive director, Sean.
That one's bigger.
Okay.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes? Okay. So first off, I just want to say that I'm overwhelmed by the way the community comes together just to take care of those that are in the margins of society. Kiwanis Club, the Rotary Club, added to by just friends of both clubs and people who pitch in for these sorts of things, really just brings me to a place of thankfulness, especially in this season of Thanksgiving, that we're able to come together and provide for those that are in need, come to those and come together and alleviate some of the anxiety and stress that families are having. They've been having it all year long based on some of the things with COVID. And now, at least in this time, and between now and the holidays, just watching how the community comes together to make it right. I'm really at a loss for words in that regard. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you before we announce, the amount of cans and that sort of deal. Just from my heart, I want to say thank you for what you've done. So I have some information I guess everybody's waiting on, and there's this beautiful trophy here. It's almost as good as the one for the best executive director, but not quite as good. But I have some numbers in front of me, so who's ready to hear the results? Excellent, excellent. So we had quite the collection of cans. There were 2 different numbers for 2 different clubs. I'll announce which club is which, but I'll announce the numbers first. 49,205 cans were collected by one club. And I just wanted, let's give that a big applause. And then we had another club that raised 132,594 cans. which is amazing. And I know that we have to proclaim a winner, but really honestly, before we proclaim the winner from each club, I just want to say that really the community wins in this regard. So let's give a hand out to that. Okay, without any further ado, the winner of this year's can collection, the ones that went above and beyond, I'm proud to say, the best Rotary Club in the universe, right here in Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will be putting your name on this beautiful trophy. I'll hold it up again and just show it. We'll take a picture with it. And this will have another plate in honor of the Rotary Club, which I'm very, very proud to be a part of. But I do want to say, Kiwanis Club, you guys impress. And I'm thankful for everything that you've done to contribute to this effort. We at the Salvation Army are doing our part to serve the community, and we couldn't do it without people like yourselves who have given everything to make sure that people who have next to nothing will be able to take that weight off their shoulders and feed their families. So thank you again. A big hand to all of you for your contributions.
Rose? As you know, the 25 Club really did the heavy lifting this year. And so, Captain Barnes, if you could present the trophy to Rose and to Renee up on the screen.
Absolutely.
So we can get a picture with the people who actually did.
All right. I'll come stand there right over here. I'm going to stand right here, trying to put it a little closer, right under where Renee is.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated in our raffle because we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you, everybody.
And Kim, looks like you've got a mouthful of food, so I caught you at the right time. Did you have any Paul Harris Awards to hand out this week?
Yes, this week I want to recognize Arlene Suar. Arlene, are you somewhere in the cyber world? Anyway, Arlene has been a member of this great club for many, many years. And for those of you who are not Rotarians, one of the, we have an award called the Paul Harris Award, and it's a recognition of members who make a minimum of $1,000 contribution to our Rotary International Foundation to support many of the good things that Rotary does in the world. So after $1,000, you go +1 all the way up. So today we're recognizing Arlene Suar, somewhere in cyberspace, for Paul Harris +2. So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And I am excited to say we blazed through that agenda and all those announcements so quickly that we actually have a few minutes for fellowship before our guest speaker. So please enjoy the meal and please enjoy conversation with the people at your table.
Marie, do you know a Boston semiconductor company called Rockwell Electronics? I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm sorry to say I do not, but I worked for a company that was called Alpha Industries, and then it changed its name to Skyworks.
Oh, all right. I remembered that you had some involvement with the Boston Semiconductor Company,
Right,
who was
right.
recently a client of mine. It was kind of funny. They manufacture obsolete uh, semiconductors mainly for use in old military equipment where they don't want to throw away the radar or something like that. You can't buy it anymore. So
Wow.
they're in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and what's really funny is if you pick up their catalog, on the front of it, it says Rockwell Electronics on the trailing edge of technology.
No, I can't say that I did. I worked for Alpha Industries that changed then, as I said, to Skyworks. I worked for them for 15 years, but I was not
Yeah.
aware of that other company. No, no.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people they associate the semiconductor industry with Silicon Valley, which of course today is where it is. But the first commercial transistors and semiconductors were actually made in Boston by Transitron and Rockwell, not Rockwell, Raytheon,
Oh, yeah.
Transitron, and
Raytheon
then
Biggie.
yeah, then they
Excuse me, just 1 second. I forgot.
Yep.
You know, I failed to mention all the Kiwanians who are up here on the wall here. I mentioned Howard Naylor, one of our outstanding people, but Diane and Jay Schultz, who are incognito right now with the beach. You know, they're up on the beach right now, enjoying themselves. I want to thank them a great deal. Matter of fact, I'm going to personally give them the Kiwanian of the Year award for our club because of their large donations. They've supported us throughout the year. And I want to thank Jay and Diane for that. And give them a round of applause, too, for their sacrifice. And we have Jerry's iPad. That's Jerry McElroy. He's been with our club forever. He's our treasurer. He couldn't make it because of health reasons. Jerry's an outstanding man, and he's very vigilant and helpful with us and guiding us through rough times. And there's Lee Ziegler, who's our secretary, and of course he's been absolutely great with our minutes. He's thorough, to the point, and very, very good to us. And Karen Gibbs, who was our past lieutenant governor, she wasn't here, but I just want you to recognize her. Round of applause for Karen Gibbs, if you could. Round of applause. Thank you very much.
So it was years later after I ran across a book that explained how the semiconductor industry moved from Boston to Stanford, and it was kind of fascinating. There was an MIT professor by the name of Terman who was kind of upset that MIT was so insular. It wouldn't allow part-time and evening students. You had to be full-time. And he thought that was a really bad idea, that you needed to have people work in industry and also work in academia and cross-fertilize. So he got so angry, he left MIT and he moved to Stanford, where he became the chancellor. And he was so enamored of the idea that industry should work together, he arranged to have the back lot of the campus reserved for an industrial park. So all the Silicon Valley businesses that were kind of founded there and were on property that was owned by Stanford University that Terman had set out. So Hewlett Packard and Intel and the whole list goes on and on. Fairchild, they were all kind of born in the back lot of the campus, and he made arrangements so professors had either the morning or the afternoon off, so they could teach in the morning and they could walk out the back door and go work in industry. And that basically moved the whole semiconductor industry from Boston over to California. There's got to be some lesson there. MIT still doesn't have an evening program. They haven't learned. We're going through our rich repertoire of 3 different kinds of mixed drinks we make to try and figure out which one we want to feature on the holiday party. There's straight vodka, straight wine, and margaritas.
Stu, do you have any inside info on how they're going to do the party?
We had a little discussion last night, and details I think are still going to be worked out, but it's going to be a Zoom session, and the programmatic stuff will be the incoming president-elect and pictures from Santa Claus that we'll run, but then we'll give each person attending a minute or two to give their holiday greetings, and hopefully they'll be able to show us how they're making their favorite cocktail, or maybe bar bite or some other recipe. So we'll kind of cycle through the entire audience, and Janice is working to see if we can do some sort of virtual photo booth or caricature artist. So we don't have a lot of time to prepare, but at the very least, it'll be people being able to one at a time greet each other and maybe share a cocktail recipe. And there's time for other ideas if somebody has got another. I mean, it's just all this was kind of in a 15-minute discussion last night, and I think it's still a little work in process, but I think we are going to use Zoom.
Is she going to try to do an auction or a raffle? Or still to be determined?
So there was a plan to have a Chinese raffle there for the live event, and I think the variation of it is going to be, and Janice is still working that out. She's still going to sell tickets for the Chinese raffle, so you can buy one or a group of 20 or whatever. But I think rather than have people decide which bucket they put their tickets in, she's going to randomly distribute them. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That was one of the. It'll kind of just be a serial auction. So all the tickets will go in the one bucket. So if you have one ticket, it'll go in. If you have 20, it'll go in that bucket, and then she'll pull them out one by one. And the first ticket is the first basket. You win that. Second ticket is the second basket. So it's just more of a standard raffle. But the more tickets you stick in there, the greater your chances of winning. So I think that's the only way we can do it on Zoom.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless there's some other way people can think about. I mean,
hey Stu, while we're on this, just so I talked with my daughter this morning. I think that the Bronx Wanderers, Vin Aldolfini and his son Vinny Aldolfini, the two of them are going to record 4 songs for us. My daughter says she can compress them and then email them to us so that we can insert them when we want to.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, we can do it in between. We can do it as a comma between the various things that we're doing. It's kind of unfortunate that the quality of the audio music on Zoom is not great, but the turkey song today went pretty well. So
yeah,
maybe we'll be lucky.
Right. They've been doing virtual concerts since they got shut down. As kind of like fundraisers and just to stay active. And I've been on some of them. They're pretty good. That's kind of fun. There's a lot of people that join, that follow them. So while they've been shut down, they've at least kept in touch with their audience.
Yeah, UNLV's College of Fine Arts has been doing a bunch of virtual musical events, but they're not using Zoom. They're using a platform specifically designed for high quality music. I'll see if I can find out what it is. I know Jim Cole said we might be able to use his Microsoft Teams facility for the party, and I don't know how that works yet. The trouble is most of these virtual meeting platforms like Zoom and Cisco WebEx and stuff like that, they were designed for voice, and they have the technology they use is the same one you use on a cell phone. If you ever tried to listen to music on a cell phone, it takes the it tries to use the bandwidth very efficiently, and so it works well with voice, but when you put music in, it doesn't know what to do with it. So
Well, then you luck. I should be able to get those video files, hopefully by Saturday.
oh, that'd be great. Yeah, and we can get. I mean, the other thing we can do is unless they're concerned about copyright issues or something, we can post them on our Facebook page. So if people really want to hear them afterwards, after the meeting, we can send the links around and they can click on them. We did that when we were 100% virtual. We were playing the songs live during the meeting, but then we gave people the links so they could listen to the Air Force Band and the West Point, stuff like that, on YouTube without having to do it on Zoom. Yeah, the technology hasn't caught up to what we want to do yet. It's not quite the same as actually being in the room together.
I got to tell you
Better than
though,
nothing.
since this whole thing started, I'm really thankful that we have this technology that we're on right now, because this is amazing for us to be able to still be able to talk one another and attend the meeting. And I mean,
And
Zoom
see
couldn't have
each other.
really gotten popular at a better time.
Yep. The quality of the audio and the video is pretty good, and they started playing the videos now to us directly rather than pointing the camera at the screen. So whatever they're showing, PowerPoint or video in the room, we get to see just as good as they do.
And the best part about
Just
Zoom
as
is
good,
that
just
you
as
get
well.
Past President Russ Swain.
Is he on? Oh yeah, he's there. He's there.
Here.
You want me to mute him? I feel very powerful.
Lots of men have tried, Stu. It's difficult. It's more difficult than you think.
In 2008, you guys
I'm not even going to attempt it. Yeah, so the dirty secret is I can turn somebody off, but they can just turn themselves back on immediately. So
Oh, you really shouldn't have said that with Russ on here. That was really. Oh.
That's the truth.
So what do you think they're all eating there? Prime rib?
yeah, I don't know. Is this the official prime rib day?
Normally, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, all right.
Back on mute.
Back on mute.
So if we could get started again, I understand there are a number of people asking where to sign up if they want to be shoppers during Santa Claus. We don't pass the clipboards anymore for a variety of reasons, but there is a clipboard up at the table. So if you are interested in signing up to be a shopper, to shop for children in Santa Claus, we have a sign-up sheet, and you're welcome. We'd love to have you join us. We wouldn't even paint your green just to make you an elf. And with that, Tom, would you like to introduce our guest speaker?
Well, it's wonderful to celebrate this time of year with our friends from the Kiwanis Club. And we decided that because both of our clubs are so focused on youth, education, life skills, that we would have a special speaker address us today. Before I introduce Dr. Nikki Bates, I think it's appropriate, though, for us, with all the accolades that we receive for the help we've given the Salvation Army, to in turn recognize the unbelievable work that the Salvation Army does for the people in this valley. It's an honor for us to be associated with your great organization, and we honor the decades and decades that you serve the people in our community. As we think at this time of gathering and thanksgiving and gratitude of all the blessings that we individually have in our lives, I think for all of us here, one of the things that comes right to the top of the list is the educational opportunities we've all received, wherever we were educated, whatever opportunities we had to learn. And I think often we take that blessing for granted. Being in this country, we've been afforded educational opportunities that are rare. We have systems of scholarship and student loans and other mechanisms to provide people with the opportunity to educate themselves to the fullest extent that they desire. And yet at this time, there might not be any topic that is more relevant, more discussed, with stronger opinions than the education of our children and the future of education for our children. So we're pleased to invite our own fellow Rotarian and an expert on education in youth to speak to us today. You have Dr. Bates' background in the wheel, and I'm not going to take any more of her time because I already told her you guys are going to probably have 20 minutes of questions for her anyway. So we are so pleased to have our own fellow Rotarian, Nikki Bates, speak to us today.
All right. With the president's permission, because I've been absolutely accused of not talking loud enough, I'd like to see if I can take off my mask. Yes? Okay. And I'm being directed to hold the microphone. Evidently, I have can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Okay. I have an incredibly soft voice, so I'm going to be deep and low and, authoritative today. So, thank you. So, yes, welcome my fellow Rotarians and our Kiwanian guests today. I am incredibly honored to present for you today, because when I think of the pillars in our community, and this thing's going to hide me, it's bigger than me. I am in awe. Not only pillars in our community that are right here in this room, but that have presented before me. And while I may not be part of that distinguished group, the organization that I work for is Vegas PBS, KLVX DT, Digital TV, or simply Channel 10, as some of you know it. But Channel 10, Vegas PBS, has been providing services and support for this community since 1968, a pillar in this community. When you think of PBS, you think of Sesame Street. But really, Sesame Street is just synonymous with fabulous educational programming. And what I would like for you to take away from this presentation is that we are really, really so much more beyond the broadcast. We are ensconced in this community and provide a plethora of services that, I like the way Don Snyder talked about it last week. Synergistically, synergism means 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It equals a lot more. The services that we provide synergistically extend the learning that happens from those great educational programs. So I'd like you to watch a 2-minute video, indulge me, that shows a little bit, just a smattering, of the awesome services that we provide. Click it? Nope. Well, is there another way to click the actual slide? There it is. The camera can't see it.
These after-school programs are extremely important for us, and Vegas PBS Ready to Learn gives us those resources. And what's nice too is that it doesn't put a huge amount of demand on a teacher to have to go kind of recreate and reinvent the wheel. These resources are here, our kids enjoy them, they're interactive, and they're helping improve achievement.
One Place Nevada is a one-stop online resource for our teachers, offering 24/7 digital access to instructional resources needed to keep those engaging lessons moving forward.
Join me for the Vegas PBS STEAM Camp. We'll help you see how science is all around us in Southern Nevada. Kids, look at some simple maps, ones that you can find online in books or on your phone or computer. Then take a walk down the street with your family. As you walk, talk about what you see. Houses, buildings, trees, lamps, street signs. Is your road straight or curvy? How many houses or buildings are on it? When you get home, draw a map of your neighborhood. Use squares to represent your house or apartment and the buildings around you.
The Vegas PBS workshops are more interactive and engaging for the families. I love how they take hands-on investigations, then the kids ask the questions and explore and design experiments. But I also love how they tie in the PBS TV shows.
The books were fantastic. The discussions around the books were fantastic. But the hug I got from my son, and I don't want to cry, but it was like amazing because I was able to do it with him the whole entire 4 times. And he just was like, Mommy, I love you so much. So it gave me that with him.
I love the library.
This library has a very special, deep meaning in my heart. Just the small amount of time that we've been here and the amount of progress that we've seen with him. I don't think we would be where we are today without this library.
Does that look like just a TV station? And believe me, all of those bright eyes and smiles that you saw on that screen are still happening, even in a virtual environment. And I'll talk a lot about how we have pivoted and are now delivering a lot of virtual workshops. Beginning with early learning, pre-kindergarten through elementary age students. The Ready to Learn Family Engagement Workshops. This particular program has been part of Vegas PBS for over 20 years. We've delivered over 13,000 workshops for kids, touching over 2 million participants. And most notably, we've provided over 1 million brand new take-home books for those in our society that are on the margins. I like how it was just represented earlier. Those in our community who are the underserved and would not necessarily have the opportunity for those home libraries that we have helped them develop. The family engagement workshops are designed to spark curiosity, to get parents and kids excited to learn through hands-on activities that, yes, are now even taking place virtually, and again, extend the learning goals of the great programming, the great shows on Channel 10 that we know over 70% of our household with children ages 3 to 11 are watching. So when you combine characters that our kids are familiar with, they love, they're watching, they're engaging with hands-on activities and literacy activities, I'd like you to remember the word synergy, because that's what happens. Pre-COVID, post-COVID. It is inspiring. I was watching, this is our teacher Maite, presenting one of those family engagement workshops over a screen, relating to kids and parents right from their kitchen tables, from their living room sofas, and what's happening and what we're seeing, which we didn't see before. So here are some really good, just some great nuggets that are occurring in this new virtual world. And that is the whole family is now engaging. Used to be sometimes just mom and child coming to our workshops, and now it's the whole family. We're looking at them sitting down in front of that camera that the teachers and everyone are helping to provide, and they are engaging directly with us and running in and out of rooms to grab materials, household materials, to complete the activities with. So believe you me, that learning is still happening right in those homes, which is where everyone is right now. You heard that principal talking about after school and summer learning. Even after the shutdown, this summer we worked with the Boys and Girls Club. In fact, I need to stop and tell you that our phone was ringing off the hook after the shutdown. We are such an educational service provider in this community. We work with not only the Clark County School District very closely, but also several other organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. They picked up the phone and called us and said, what are we going to do? We still want to reach the children that we serve. And we provided them with workshop content. And we're able to give away 600 brand new books for those families and conduct over 70 workshops over the summer, reaching 700 kids and parents. So it hasn't stopped. People asked me, hey, Nikki, what's happening after the shutdown? What are you guys doing? I got to tell you, our team, I couldn't breathe. We literally completely, because I run the education department, by the way, at Vegas PBS. So I felt like the entire weight of the station was on my team's shoulders to make sure that we were still providing educational resources for kids during this time of need. Vegas PBS STEAM Camp, the first time my name ever shows up as an executive producer on one of our shows. This is so exciting. I know, I'm actually an executive producer now too. So fun, I didn't put that on my resume. As you heard in the news, right? All of our kids were at home as of March of this year. Many of them didn't have internet service. So teachers were trying to connect, and I know all of this was very much in the news, and they couldn't. So what we did is we said, old-fashioned broadcast, it doesn't have to be online. We're gonna make sure instructional content is delivered where? Through broadcast, through the airwaves, to Channel 10. So we created Vegas PBS STEAM Camp. It's all about STEM, teaching, right? STEAM is, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So teaching those concepts through the TV. So not just our virtual online workshops, but actually teaching through the TV. And we engaged families by asking questions like, how do those great PBS programs get to your TV? What happens to water? How do you clean water after it goes down the drain? We had to get our lawyers involved for that particular segment, and I'll tell you why. I won't give you the words because you're eating, but we had to be able to say, remember, this is PBS. 2 words that start with a P on TV. And remember, this was wastewater management we were talking about. So, believe it or not, lawyers, to ensure that on a PBS station we could say those 2 words. So I think that quote says it all. Engaging families still, even during a socially distanced world. We also produced over 30 Learn at Home spots. These are quick, 30-second spots, videos, that teach parents and show parents things they can do to keep their children engaged in learning at home. Because not only did teachers call us, did the Boys and Girls Club call us, but parents called us. And they said, we need activities and ideas. My kids are watching those programs. What can we do to help our kids at home? Learn at Home spots, constantly playing on Channel 10, as well as across all of our social media platforms. Let's talk about pre-K through 12 services. That was just the little guys. One Place, Nevada. You heard Superintendent Joan Ebert on the video. We worked with the Nevada Department of Education because not only are we a pillar right here in Las Vegas in Southern Nevada, but we are in all of Nevada. This particular portal provides our teachers, our students, and their families 24/7 access to hundreds of thousands of digital resources online, 24/7 again. When my daughter's in medical school now, but when she started in high school, when she was taking trigonometry and all those types of courses, I could no longer help her. If I would have had resources like this, because literally you can log in to this particular portal and do a search for 8th grade algebra, geometry, whatever the concept is. And you will receive a list of resources that can help you with that particular concept. Nevada Academic Content Standards Aligned, which makes it easy for our teachers to utilize right in their lesson plans. They can pull information from this portal and embed it right in their lesson plans. And they're already delivering instruction digitally anyway. So this program has taken off. We have received over 1 million streams so far this school year. So remember, it's just the first semester. American Graduate Getting to Work. This particular initiative of PBS is very near and dear to my heart. Basically, it is a public media awareness campaign targeting 16 to 26-year-olds, our youth, giving them information about critical in-demand careers in the state of Nevada. This is very localized. So these programs come down from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting for us, and we localize them to the community needs. Information such as soft skills, information about what jobs actually look like, virtual field trips. We walk kids through everything they need to know to be able to be work ready when they graduate. Because work ready is just as important as college ready. It's about choices. And work ready and college ready are so important because over 70% of our kids in the Clark County School District do not go to college. But I'll tell you, for kids like me, I was on my own at 18, right after I graduated high school. I learned shorthand. That tells you how old I am, because what the heck is shorthand, right? Oh, I see some hands, right. Shorthand, guys. I'm a great secretary, but I am not for hire. 100 words a minute. But I'll tell you, it was those work skills that got me through college because I was able to support myself as I went through college. And once I started college, there was no stopping. I love academia. And it took me twice as long. A 4-year degree took 8 years because I had to work full time, but I did it until I got what they call the terminal degree, a doctorate degree. And then I was just talking at the table saying, even after I got the terminal degree, I was going to go to Boyd Law School part-time. Because anybody that knows me said, oh my God, you should have been a lawyer, right? No, I had to help kids. So that's what I did. But again, really, I said this was close to my heart. The takeaway from that story is that work ready is just as important as college ready, because work is what got me through college. And finally, the Special Needs Resource Library. I think some of you heard about this when past President Tom Axtell came and talked about it in the past. This is a library that serves the entire state of Nevada. It's targeted for those with disability. And it serves the entire state of Nevada because we have every piece in that library online, displayed in an online category, in an online system, a checkout system. This library began as the Described and Captioned Media Center because ensuring everyone has access to media, all people have access to media, is part of the DNA of PBS. Beginning back in 1972 with the development of closed captioning. First serving those with visual and hearing impairments, the library quickly morphed, expanded into a library that now serves or addresses multiple disabilities. We work with occupational therapists, with physical therapists, with private organizations, and of course, with special education teachers across the state. What you see here is Sheila. She is our early childhood education, special education specialist, working with a child with Down syndrome. Because what we did, and we're doing virtually now, is bring families into the library and teach them how to use those physical pieces, because we're talking 3- and 4-year-olds. So you have to use physical media to help them learn, and they learn through play. So these structured play groups help parents understand how they can learn the strategies and techniques to work with their little guys so that when they finally get into school, they are ready for school. These workshops are happening virtually. And what we do is we make sure that all of the parents have the same pieces of media, and we walk them through how to continue that learning again right in their living rooms, because that is exactly where everyone is right now. You saw this little guy. Every time I see that video at the very end, it makes me cry, because when he came into our library, he did not speak. He refused to speak. And after these workshops, you heard him speak to all of you. And it just melts my heart every time. I don't think we would be where we are today without this library. So Vegas PBS, for 50 years, since 1968, I would consider a pillar in this community. Quality programming, and outreach. Vegas PBS is much more than a TV station, and no one else does what we do. Thank you. How long was that? Oh, I see a question over here. Yes? No? Yeah? Surprise.
You did mention you wanted to be a lawyer, right?
Can you just give an example of one of the companies that's affiliated with the American Graduate of what actually happens and how this 18 to whatever learns, does, and et cetera?
When you go to the American Graduate website, you'll see a partners page. There's over 56 partners that we've been working with over the last 2 years, creating these videos. For instance, you'll see a video of Helix Electric. They are a company in town that quickly saw the need for a pipeline. When you look at the trades especially, there's nobody going into those fields that have the skills needed, even math skills, right? Those particular jobs require those skills. So what we are doing is ensuring that our youth have the information. We have a video that shows them exactly what what is every 17-year-old interested in when they're thinking about a career? A car, girls. Guess what? Cars and girls take money, right? So we're telling them this is the average pay. These are the skills you need to learn. And we're trying to get them engaged soon enough to where they're going to start learning those skills. And Helix Electric has their own apprenticeship program. Apprenticeships are huge, but again, you have to have the skills. Remember, this isn't about not graduating. It's still about graduating and making sure you have academic skills. But being able to know that's where I want to go because I know I'm going to make $30 an hour is huge. And we're giving kids that information. Even on that website, there is, if you don't know what you want to do, and many of our kids, they're kids, they don't. There's personality tests. There's all kinds of information and assessments that you can take that guide you into what may be of interest for you. Any other questions?
Okay. We're constructing some book barns, little libraries to install throughout the community. How would we get, for publicity when we do it, how would we get Big Bird to come out to help us do that?
I get asked that question a lot. And many of you probably are not aware that Big Bird belongs to HBO now. HBO owns Sesame Street. No longer is it a PBS product. So in order to get Big Bird, you have to have $10,000. Yeah, that's what it costs. How about Little Bird? Yeah, exactly. It's not it's not PBS anymore.
Hi. My question is in regards to the American Graduate programs. Is there anything that expands on the different careers in our community other than construction and gaming? So we can have a little bit more diversification
And actually,
where
gaming
students
is
are looking to go?
right. And if you go to the Governor's Office of Economic Development, there is a list of the in-demand fields, those careers in Nevada that will have a dearth, especially within the next 5 years, of employees coming up. Health sciences is one of them, right? So that is what all of our information, actually, according to our grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, it has to address those high need, in-demand jobs that we know within the next 5 years won't have anybody, no pipelines, any pipelines. So those are the fields that we have to address. Yes.
Didn't PBS used to offer an online high school diploma program? Is that still in effect?
It is now called the Nevada Learning Academy. While it is housed at the Vegas PBS Technology Campus, we do not run that program. That particular high school, which is now middle school as well, is run by the Clark County School District. And yes, it's still available. My daughter did it too.
Anybody else have questions? Kiwanis?
Does anyone on the Zoom
Yes,
have
Zoom
any
people.
questions? Marie? How do we? Marie, can you unmute, please?
You're still muted, Marie. You're still muted.
You're still muted, Marie.
I have a question.
Okay. Is it okay now? Okay. I'm just interested to know if there is any way, or if you already do this, that you have sent the schools a list of what is available to them, all of these programs. Like when a parent goes to the school and has a problem, would they know which program to go into on PBS?
Marie, we work very closely with the Clark County School District. In fact, we provide those workshops in early childhood education program, as well as the schools that are designated as Zoom schools, which are high ELL population schools. So yes, many particular group of students that we work with, those schools know, believe me, know of us very well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Marie.
A percentage of the donations go towards the apparatus. How much of a percentage?
Jay, were you asking whether how the contributions coming in are spent by PBS? Is that what you're?
Donations to Vegas PBS, if they are unrestricted, pretty much go towards programming. So if you're familiar with how federal funding works, it only covers about 49 cents of every dollar of what it takes to run a PBS station. So that's why we have to go for and solicit for donations in order to keep the other part of that fabulous programming coming. And then, of course, we always accept donations restricted for particular activities. We have many donors. I have been blessed, especially during these times, to have donors that donate directly for our education services programs. That Ready to Learn program that you saw is completely paid for via grants and donations. So yes.
How do we donate?
Oh, thank you. That's a good question. You can go to vegaspbs.org and there's always a donate button right there ready to go. Yes, vegaspbs.org.
Okay, thank you.
Writing it down, guys. You need to write. I don't see pens whipped out here. Come on.
Nikki, can I ask a question?
Yes, hi, Stu.
Yeah, hi, Nikki. Thank you so much for this. And Vegas PBS is obviously a jewel here in our community. I have a question regarding something that I recall called instructional service TV. When I worked for an educational station back in the late 60s in Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, Pennsylvania, during the day, we had 1 hour sessions that were instructional service TV sessions, which were designed basically to be a classroom where they put a big TV monitor up in the schools around the school district, and teachers would sit there and actually be a science lesson or a physics lesson or something that you couldn't do locally in the school because you needed all this lab equipment and resources. But it seems to me in the time of COVID, the idea that you could actually have a virtual classroom, not just a program, but something where the children would all tune in at a particular time of day for an hour, and they'd have a history lesson or an English lesson or a science lesson, and perhaps interact with the computer would make a lot of sense. Is any of that happening, planned, or thought about for Vegas PBS?
Via the workshops that I talked about. So that's where the video conferencing platforms are being utilized right now for exactly what you're talking about. Those are those, we are still providing thousands of workshops via the video conferencing format. Now, you talked about the instructional television. Up until this year, Stu, in fact, that was something that was very unique to our station. We were one of the only PBS stations in the nation, probably because we're so associated with the 5th largest school district in the nation, Clark County School District. We were piping in 6 educational channels to our classrooms. That has been happening all this time, Stu, even like you remember, until this year. There's no one in classrooms. And it's a closed system. Those instructional TV stations are closed systems, so not everyone can access them. They were piped into every classroom here in the Clark County School District. Every classroom still has a TV, but what we did to accommodate the internet age is take the same content that was being piped into classrooms via those 6 channels and put them online. So that same content that used to be offered only through that is still being offered, and it's it's in an online format. And that's part of the streams that we see, part of those million streams in just September and October that our teachers are still pulling down and able to show them to kids through the video conferencing format. So it's still happening, just in a different way.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Karen.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Is there a coordinated effort between PBS and Clark County School District to find the children that seem to be lost through all the COVID relief?
A coordinated effort.
Somebody's at the door. I'll go up.
Which
I'll
door?
leave the cracker with you.
Which door?
Somebody's
door. So, sorry, Karen, so back to you and your question about a coordinated effort. We are part of the Clark County School District. So yes, yes, we are, and that is where the discussion came up with the workshops that we provide for those communities most in need. Because we are constantly in touch with them, we were able to also utilize, and we're in touch with them through other means. In fact, as I told you, not only were private agencies, school district agencies, but parents were calling us. Parents who didn't have internet were calling Vegas PBS because they could, I'm sorry, but they couldn't get a hold of their schools. They were calling their schools and nobody was at the school site. So they were actually calling us, and we were directing them, telling them what to do, telling them how they could access resources, and then giving that information to the Clark County School District as well, to be able to let the school district know who needed internet access as well. So yes, we were one of the cogs, I will say, in a great big wheel that helped to discover who needed internet service, because we're part of that cog. We're one of the cogs in the wheel. Yes.
Any more questions for somebody in the room, perhaps? Oh, good.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Our Kiwanis Key Clubbers, high school students, do get credits for participating, service and leadership programs. Now, do those same CCSD students get credit for participating, credits towards graduation, their graduation, for participating in workshops with PBS?
Only through the work-based learning department in the Clark County School District. We work very heavily with, he's a director, Craig Brockett in the Clark County School District with our American Graduate Program. He runs the work-based learning program with which, and that is how kids get credit, but it's through their school. We are not a transcripting agency. We cannot give credit. That only happens in conjunction with the Clark County School District.
Thank you, Nikki, for that great presentation. And as you know, we, instead of giving you a trinket to put on your bookshelf, we make a donation to the USO in your name as a thank you for this presentation. And if one other question, if anybody here in the room today is harboring a secret ambition to be a TV celebrity themselves, who at PBS would they contact about manning the telephones at your next telethon?
If there's any such thing as a telephone again.
And they would get their 5 minutes of fame.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. Yes, sir. Oh.
Time is in June. So you'll probably want to contact so that you can get something next year sometime.
All right. On that note, thank you very much for attending today. And on behalf of all of the people that the Salvation Army will be able to help through your generous donations, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, all you Zoomers.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Okay, bye.
You have to be good. That's correct. All right. Bring it on down. Sleep needed.